a few months older than you, huh? Some of your earlier music had, strong influence of dancehall. Could you elaborate on that?
Yeah, that was a result of, at the time we were going to school, there was a heavy influx of music from Jamaica coming into Trinidad and Tobago. We had just moved from the heavy influx of pop music in Trinidad and Tobago. And it basically it took the nation by storm. And at that time as well, it was somewhat taboo to be of a young age and want to be involved in the music of Trinidad and Tobago. You had to study school first. And by parents keeping us away from wanting to be part of music, we will take our secret moments and develop our skills elsewhere. And it so happened that most of us at that time developed our skills listening to dancehall or reggae music. A producer that I met, Darren Braxton, he was the person that advised me to take my style and put it in soca music, which is basically raga soca, which I am not the first person to do. Raga soca has been along for a very long time, from since Yellow Man and then Admiral Bailey, Byron Lee and the Dragonaires when they collaborated with Admiral Bailey and artists like that. So I was just basically like, new person to blame when the music changed.
Well, that's a good blame.
Yeah.
I'd like to be blamed like that. So you didn't stay away from school, you didn't break fish, like we say?
No. I went to school and I took my quiet moments and developed my skill.
Oh, that's I like education first, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I'll tell you something here. Trinidad is by far the most, ethnically diverse of the Caribbean islands. How does this cosmopolitan atmosphere shape and influence you personally as an artist?
I think it works in my favor as an artist, and most artists of Trinidad and Tobago, we are able to go into any territory or any genre, meet with any type of people and just fit right in. Dialogue and music, cultural exchange. We know how to do it well because there's so many musical forces that exist back home in Trinidad and Tobago. But we're so small as a people that we sometimes go unnoticed musically.
Yes.
And we're so talented in what we do. We're talented at doing everything else that it is sometimes hard to pinpoint what we're actually good at. Are you good at this, or are you good at that, or you're good at that? Because it's easy to open your hand and say, well, I'm good at everything. But sometimes everyone only wants one thing from you.
Yeah.
Then it becomes upon you, the artist, to decide what is the one thing you want to give them.
Okay. That's, you decide what they want to do with.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the thing is that for quite a while now, soca music has not enjoyed the global spotlight it so deserves outside the Caribbean circuit. But there's obvious evidence that you're changing that with your unique and creative, hits like Carnival, Tabanka, and different ecology. How do you explain this significant breakthroughs?
I think it's just a lot of factors here. Timing is one of them. One of the most important factors here is timing. We've been knocking at the door of international view for a very long time. The things with walls and stone and board is that they could only stay up for so long when you constantly hit at it. It could have been someone else right now in this seat doing this interview based on this success. So I think my timing was just right. This didn't come overnight. What is happening now is a result of all the work that all the artists of Trinidad and Tobago and probably throughout the region did with soca music over the years. At some point in time, something is going to give. It's either the artist is going to get fed up, the culture is going to get tired, or a doorway is going to open for something to pass. Now that we have a creek of light, we're able to go through now. I think the focus now is to try to get as much more of our music to the rest of the world to hear and to see us in a way that they never saw us before.
Right. Because the timing is right, because if you didn't come here, I ain't coming here. So. I only come because of you. But another thing, just for the benefit of these foreigners here. The Trinidad lingo, they won't understand. What is tabanca?
Tobacco. Every Trinidadian's favorite word. First of all. But tobacco is basically that yearning, that craving, something you lost. You want it so bad. And what a tobacco does is that because you want it so bad after it has gone, you could actually get sick. Because you spend days not eating and grieving, And tobacco, in most cases, tobacco fits where a relationship is broken between, a couple, and probably the woman has gone and the man get this tobacco, or the woman, right? But the song now is called Carnival Tobacco because most Trinidadians know, or if not all, especially in the last 5 years, there's this thing that has been happening when Carnival in Trinidad and Tobago is over. It's like, people can't wait for the next year. Some people don't want to go to work, so some people even fly from carnival to carnival for the whole year. Just to subsidize that feeling until they come back to Trinidad and Tobago carnival. So that's what it's called, Carnival Tobacco. Right.
Well, when my wife ran out with another guy, I get the worst tobacco ever. Because, after she died eventually, so that was good. I didn't know she was going to die. She came to collect the alimony check one night. She could stick around for a while and spend the night, And next morning, she wasn't breathing. I said, what the hell is that? So I took the pillow off her face. The tobacco's reversed now. No, but I'll tell you, sex, I'll tell you something, man. Who are you? You're a massive fan club. Who are they to expect now to see Bunji, Garlin team up with in 2015?
That we're not sure. That is to be determined. We just go as the music go along. For example, this year, Different Energy had a crazy remix with Busta Rhymes. It was basically unexpected. It came out of nowhere. We have the Truck on the Road remix with A$AP Ferg. That basically happened on its own. I think when music could do that, when these things could happen on its own strength, it says something about where the music you do, where it has reached. The way people view you and the way people view your music, the way people view your people. So I will leave 2015 to chance. I will leave it for anything to happen. I don't want to plan anything to say, well, I have eyes focused on this artist or that artist for collaboration, because sometimes these planned collaborations don't always work out as they think it should be.
Well, I think those artists will be planning to work with you.
Well, very good. Very good.
You'll be the reverse. You'll be hunting it all over the place.
Very good.
But as successfully, I'm telling you, man, it's a sex-driven culture we have. But you are such a serious guy. You're laid back. Do you get uncomfortable with people dealing with people like me? Like, you're so straight-laced, and
No. I mean, remember, coming from Trinidad and Tobago is a very diverse community.
Yeah.
We're multicultural, and of course, with multi-cultures come with multi-attitudes, thoughts, and points of views, and versions of this and that. So you cannot expect that the way I think or the way you think, that everyone should be aligned to those two ways alone. Everyone have their own way of doing stuff, so we just have to respect everyone's borders, respect everyone's territory, and just move to suit. The moment I start thinking that you should start thinking like me, then I become frustrated. And I don't like to be frustrated.
Okay. Yeah. You have to be on the same page.
Yeah. Sometimes being on the same page is respecting two different pages.
Yeah, right. Now, no Q&A will be complete without asking you about your better half. Well, I won't say better half, your half. You might be your beautiful wife. Oh man, she's royalty herself, as a matter of fact. And we'd like to know, Faye Ann Lyons is her name. She herself is royalty. Do you ever when do you ever compete, like if you're working together and you're competing for the same prize? Is there any jealousy? Do you get your well, I know about me, what I would do, but
No,
do you ever get envious?
No, we don't. No.
Are you supportive of each other?
Yeah, actually very supportive. Where we have our own band, we are the frontline singers of our own band, the Asylum Vikings, led by this group here in the background, Empire.
Right.
And we understand each other so well that we could be in the same room and basically not talk and know exactly what the other person is thinking. So we know where to pick up from where we just left off. Right? And in terms of, you know, when it's time to get to work, we know exactly what we're supposed to do, because I think the key point here is, if you don't know what you have to do as a person, then it won't work if we both have to figure out what we're supposed to do. So we both understand what we should do as individuals, and then we work along with that.
Okay, so if you're competing for the same prize, I know what I have to do, I'll say, but you and she won the prize instead. Would you be happy?
Yeah, which happened already. We both competed for Soca Monarch. For those who don't know what Soca Monarch is, it's basically the one night where you have some of the best artists in the country competing for whatever the prize may be. So it would be $1 million, $2 million, as the case may be. You have 10 minutes to put on the best performance that you could ever think about putting on, with props and lights and this and that, like a Broadway type show.
Right.
And in 2009, she was pregnant while performing. Actually, she was
better than during performing.
I mean, she was like really pregnant.
Wow.
She had the baby 8 days after the competition. There was this the song that she had took the nation by storm. And to top it all off, the performance was just off the charts. But what pushed it over the edge was that there was this sample she had with an extra verse. At the end of the performance, she took the microphone and put it on her stomach like this. And they triggered the sample, so it was it was like the baby singing through the microphone, through the stomach. And that just sent the crowd. There was no performance that night, but I topped that and up to this time. So, you know, when she beat me, she beat everyone else. You know,
well, my opinion, she cheated. To get people sorry for her to be in our country. But I'll tell you, to be honest with me,